introduce yourself.
I'm Natalie Cruz. I'm a sophomore, and I work up at the equipment room up at Memorial Stadium. My title is equipment room assistant. There's not really a direct title for that, but I really like my job. It has many perks. But yeah, my responsibilities mostly include just taking care of all the football gear, some other sports like lacrosse, softball, field hockey. There's a couple others. And I do a lot of inventory, a lot of folding, a lot of putting away, a lot of checking for things, counting things, kind of just anything they ask me to do, taking things to get mailed out, yeah, packaging, shipping, all that stuff. So it's kind of a wide array of things I do. But
how closely do you interact with the football players?
I wouldn't say it's a daily thing. Like they come up obviously more during the football season.
Mm-hmm.
They come up to get gloves or new cleats, or they have a question for one of the managers. Sometimes they say hello and introduce themselves to me. Other times they ignore me, which is fine. I'm okay with that. Going into the job, I knew that I wouldn't be interacting too much with them because my manager doesn't want me to, for various reasons. And yeah, I don't know. Some of them are cool. Some of them are kind of rowdy.
What were your expectations of football players prior to you getting the job?
I figured they'd be rowdy. They are very large men, and they kind of scare me a little bit because they're very rambunctious and like to yell and scream a lot and say very crude things in the locker room that I hear, and it's kind of hard to listen to, being a girl, or just not wanting to hear what they say, because I guess what they say in the locker room doesn't usually leave the locker room.
Is it like stuff that's derogatory towards women, or that kind of talk?
Yeah, definitely derogatory, just really crude things that are just kind of gross, things that you'd hear in Superbad or something. But then some of them are cool, and they want to know who you are and what you're doing and stuff. But yeah, they like to yell a lot, and they just kind of scare me. They're just kind of crazy, and it's a whole other world in the locker room.
What do you mean when you said your manager warned you about the football players? Like, what did your manager say?
When he interviewed me for the job, the only criteria, or the only rule, was that I couldn't flirt, hook up, or do anything with football players, basically avoid them, and that they'd be watching me and them and their interactions with me. Even the student managers that are, not football players, but that work with the football players, they also cautioned me against, talking to them too much or flirting or whatever. And I mean, they're my friends. I see them a lot during the football season because I work with them kind of closely. But the football players are definitely off limits, and that's totally fine with me.
Is there anything else that your manager said you had to be prepared for before going into the job?
Yeah, he also said that I need to be emotionally and kind of mentally strong, strong around the men that I'm working around, because the coaches and the managers, they all like to cuss a lot, and they yell a lot. They yell at each other. They say kind of harsh things, and so he just warned me that I'd be hearing a lot of that, and that they're not going to ever yell at me, but that I'd be around that environment, so I would just have to be okay with that, I guess. So.
And is your manager a male or a female?
Male. They're all male.
So of the employees that you interact with in the program, percentage-wise, or how many are male and how many are female? Is it the vast majority are male, or are there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, basically all the coaches, all the managers are male. I'm one of four other girls. I'm one of four that work up at the equipment room, and the only other girls there's some downstairs that work with the athletes, not just football players, but other athletes, they're the physical therapist kind of a deal. They help them with icing and stretching and all that stuff. But I don't ever see them. They're always downstairs. And then there's a few girls that are called hydration technicians, and they work on the field during the season, getting water for the guys and stuff, the athletes. But but I'm basically one of the only girls up at the equipment room, so
Okay.
I mostly see men. That's about it.
And then, going with your experience with the football team, do you think a female coach would ever be able to lead the football team?
No, I don't. I think that'd be cool, but I think that there's just certain things that only men know and can do when it comes to such a, contact sport like football, and you need someone who's like really tough, and not that girls can't be tough, but you need someone who's like very emotionally and mentally and psychologically stable, and like is gonna yell and scream and just be really hard on the football players, because they can get out of hand quite easily, and they need to be told, to be set straight many times, and there's just some things I think like male roles are filled better. So.
And how would you say the football players show their masculinity or prove their masculinity to each other and to themselves from your experience that you've seen? What are some of the stuff that players do?
Well, many times they'll come up to the equipment room, because the locker room is downstairs, and they'll be, shirtless, and they'll just be like flexing, and just be like, showing off their pecs and stuff, and walking around kind of like very egotistical sometimes, and they just kind of they joke around a lot, slap each other's butts and stuff, romance, I don't know, but yeah, they're very silly, and they like to just make a lot of jokes and walk around flexing a lot. I don't know, it's kind of my experience, I guess.
Okay. Are there any other questions?
Good.
Thank you, Natalie.
Thank you.